Good morning. It's April 10th, 2018. Time for another Messianic Moment with Stephen Brock. Oh, good morning. Today I want to talk about finite and infinite. But first, I want to remind you, please, like the page, go to the right column, subscribe, go to the bottom right corner if you're on the YouTube, and subscribe there. And if you want to make a comment, I really welcome them, even if it's just, hey, good word, or if you disagree, let's have a discussion. But please, be nice, and also make the comment not on the YouTube, but please go to the website, messianicmoment.com. Make the comment on the written blog there, because I do this, as you probably noticed, both video and written options. So if you're on YouTube and you find me, go to my website, messianicmoment.com, and please find this post under Drosh to start the day and make your comments there. And if you like what you hear, share me out. I really do appreciate your comments, your being here, sharing with me, letting me share with you. I really do. It's very nice of you. Thank you. I hope it edifies you. So, finite, infinite, infinite, finite. I don't know. You say potato, I say potato. Let's start off with a picture. Can you picture in your mind 1 million candles lined up in a row? Or can you picture in your mind what $1 million bills stacked on top of each other would look like? I can't. My mind's often in a state of flux, but it's still pretty sharp. And I cannot picture what 1 million anything looks like. I can't see it or imagine it. And this is the problem we have when we try to imagine or understand the awesomeness of God. He is so far out of our range of understanding, so distant from even the furthest edge of the bell curve of our knowledge, that we can never even come close to knowing what He knows, or understanding what He does, or even understanding the things He tells us we should do. Now, in Judaism, there are 613 commandments in the Torah, and they're split up into basically 3 types. Okay, the first type is called a mishpatim. You might hear the word mitzvot, but mishpatim, and these are the laws that we can very easily understand. They're mostly civil laws, and it's simple stuff like don't kill, don't commit adultery, don't steal. The next level are called idot, and these are what we would consider ceremonial laws regarding, of course, the rites and practices of things such as, well, the rules for Shabbat, or the different rules and regulations regarding how the sacrificial system worked. And then we have that third level called chukim. And the chukim laws are the laws that God gave to us that, from us, seemingly have no rationale at all. Such as the ceremonial bread, or sacramental bread, that God says we should make 12 loaves and put it on the table and leave it there, and every week change it. There can't be any rationale to that we know. Or not wearing the same clothing made from different cloths. Now, human nature almost demands that we know why of something. We have to know. When someone asks you to do something, how many times is the first response, why? And it's no different with God, because I hear and read over and over and over so many people explaining why. For instance, why the kosher laws are better for us, or why we need to wear tzitzit. Well, when somebody says, why does God want us to do this, the answer I give is this: because God said so. That's all the answer we need, and it's the easiest one to understand. And I'm going to go even further than this, and I'm going to say that if that answer, why God said so, isn't enough for you, then you need to start asking yourself what your faith is based on. If we say we have faith, but cannot accept God's commandment without understanding the reason why we should, then we're not faithful at all. How can I say that? Easy. If you cannot accept what God says without knowing the reason why, it is because you don't trust that God knows what He's talking about. For me, that's an a priori truth. When we don't accept what someone is saying at face value, it's because we don't trust them. Now, when we trust someone, we do whatever he or she suggests. especially if we're unsure of what we're doing. We seek out confirmation that we're doing the right thing in the right way. Now, I saw this when I was in sales. So many people needed to see articles from Consumer Reports, or know Better Business Bureau ratings, or letters from customers justifying why my company was great because we did such a great job. I mean, really, do you think I would have shown them complaint letters? If we did 1,000 jobs, and by accident 3 of them were right, wouldn't those be the 3 reference letters that I'd show? And they only want 3 reference letters. You ever notice that? Do you have 3 references? Yeah, I can get 3 references. I got 1,000 lousy ones, but I can find 3 good ones. I mean, why 3? Why not 300? Why not 3,000? And I realized these people had no faith in their own decision-making ability. In a similar way, so many congregations that are constantly preached to about God's love and compassion and forgiveness, all of which are really good things. But when these are the only things that are talked about, the congregation is not given the chance to trust God as they should. Talking only about love and forgiveness, it's like that third-party confirmation. They want to hear all the good things, but they don't want to learn what they need to know. Okay? And what they need to know is that God is there even when troubles are completely around us. When we're in the midst of tsuris, which is Yiddish for troubles or problems, God's still there. And the leaders of God's people have to be trusted, and that trust has to be turned to God. And that means to trust God in everything, not just that He is forgiving and compassionate, but that He knows what He's talking about, and that what He says we should do, we should do. I mean, we can and we should question our human leadership, always. And you should always question me, you know? If you don't think I'm saying something right, send me a comment. Again, do it on the website, not in the YouTube. Do the comments on the website, messianicmoment.com, so I can get back to you and other people might be able to see it. You know, but we can ask God also why He asks us to do things. He can handle being asked why. But we must not ask God to prove that what He says is something we should do. See the difference? That's disrespectful and demonstrates a lack of trust and faith. When we say to God, I need to know why you want me to do this before I do it, that's not good. Yes, ask God why things happen. God, why does this happen? That's fine. Yes, ask God, whatever you're going through, why is this happening to me right now? Okay, He might actually bring you to a better understanding of your own actions. And yes, definitely, ask God why He allows things to happen. You can even ask God why He wants you to do something. But you should never ask God to prove to you why you should do it. You see the subtle but very important difference here about how to ask God. Okay? It's okay to ask God to explain something to you, but it's not okay to demand He prove what He says should be something you agree to do. For instance, when God says do not eat pork, there are plenty of people who can explain why. Pork's unsafe. Using health studies, we know pork and trichinosis. And the same people will then, or different people, will use the same report to say why it's okay to eat pork. And you don't have to worry about that ceremonial law anymore, because now we have the USDA. You know, pork's safe. The trichinosis is gone. We can cook it thoroughly, whatever. In both cases, whether they're explaining why God says something or why we don't have to worry about what God says, either case, and both cases, are trying to understand the why of God's law so we can justify obeying it. And that's the problem. That's my point. The moment we try to understand something in order to justify why we should do it is distrust of God and faithlessness. There's absolutely no reason we need to understand any of God's laws. No reason at all. He's God. That's all the justification of why anyone needs. And anything more than that, anything more than just that He is God and He says so, is faithless, obstinate, stiff-necked, and rebellious. Yes, the big 4. Faithless, obstinate, stiff-necked, and rebellious. You don't want to be in that group. So, in conclusion, do yourself a favor. Just forget trying to understand why when it comes to God and His commandments. Okay, it's useless and impossible thing to do because the finite can never understand the infinite. So, again, thank you for listening. I appreciate your being here. May God bless you in every way. Please, obey God. because He's God. Allow that to be the only justification you'll need, and I guarantee, even though I can't speak for the Almighty, I guarantee that that will be okay with Him. I think if you read the Bible and you know even a little bit about God, you'll understand that, yes, obeying God. Yeshua says, come to me like a little child, trusting. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, or I'm getting back on topic too much. So, thank you for listening. Please subscribe to the website, subscribe to the YouTube, make comments on the website, be nice, and thank you for listening. Share me out, like the page. I do very much appreciate you being here. And may God bless you. Baruch Hashem.